This project is certainly the most significant of my career so far. The majority of my practice is portrait-based, but this is the first time that I've represented someone so iconic.
Building a monument to Maya Angelou began when San Francisco city officials discovered their civic art collection included 87 statues, but only 2 represented real women. Former San Francisco Mayor and U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein and nursing heroine Florence Nightingale.
This began in 2017 under a resolution and then an ordinance in 2018 that called for increased representation of women in public spaces.
In October 2018, the Board of Supervisors approved the ordinance drafted by Supervisor Mark Farrell and introduced by Supervisor Catherine Stephanie.
Item 26 is an ordinance to direct the Arts Commission to erect a work of art depicting Maya Angelou at the main library, to set city policy regarding the depiction of women on city property, and to create a Women's Recognition Public Art Fund.
Angelou lived in San Francisco as a teenager, attending Washington High School and church at Glide Memorial. At 16 years old, she was the city's first Black female streetcar conductor. The San Francisco Arts Commission began a nationwide search to find the right artist to capture the essence of the literary icon.
The selection process for choosing public artists is very simple. It's a transparent, open process where you have panels that determine which artists should move forward. They're panels of experts that know public art, that understand it, that know what to look for, know how to judge quality. After that, their recommendations are taken to the Visual Arts Committee, and then that's approved and then goes forward to the full commission.
This is the sample of the basalt base.
From over 130 submissions, one artist, Berkeley-based Lava Thomas, was chosen.
The process began with research, re-immersing myself in Dr. Angelou's works, her books, her poems, her performances, her interviews, and then I looked at her art collection. Maya Angelou was a champion of Black artists, and within her collection she had works by Elizabeth Catlett. I've long admired Elizabeth Catlett's work, especially her portrayals of Black women. I was also inspired by Faith Ringgold's story quilt titled Maya's Quilt of Life, which was commissioned by Oprah Winfrey for Dr. Angelou's 61st birthday. I then looked at photographs of Dr. Angelou, I looked at public murals of Dr. Angelou, and I looked at how she was represented in sculptures. And I knew that I didn't want to use an image of her that was already in the public's consciousness. I was really drawn to her 1973 interview with Bill Moyers. So I used an image from that interview as the basis for the portrait. Working in bronze was a completely different experience. The design for the monument is based on a drawing transformed into a three-dimensional object, which was then used to make 3D prints, which were then cast into bronze, which were then welded together like a puzzle. It was actually the first time that the foundry created a portrait that is 8 feet tall and 6 feet wide. It was an innovative process, which is fitting because Maya Angelou was a trailblazer and an innovator.
The ordinance called for the monument to be placed at the main library. However,
there was some discretion left up to the artists as they were designing their proposals to select certain sites that they thought were the most appropriate sites for the artwork.
I chose the site instinctively. It was really organic the way that I made the decision. I walked back and forth in front of the library, and since we read from left to right, I decided to situate the monument just to the left of the opening. Also, the portrait has eyes that follow you, and so I wanted her eyes to follow you as you approach the library steps all the way until you enter the library.
Well, I cannot think of a better place for this monument than here at our flagship main library in the Tenderloin neighborhood, where Maya Angelou really gave so much of her time and energy trying to improve quality of life for the residents here. She was a longtime member of the Glide Memorial Church. She was part of that congregation.
Just look where we've come from.
It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this monumental community celebration and unveiling of Dr. Maya Angelou's monument, Portrait of a Phenomenal Woman by Lava Thomas.
Let this serve as a reminder of the importance of books and the acquisition of knowledge. My dear Aunt Maya has always been in my life. I mean, always in my life, guiding and directing me towards my greatest expression as a woman, as an artist, as a teacher, and a mother.
From the initial sketches to the final touches, the process has been a labor of love. Each stage of the monument's creation has been infused with the spirit of Dr. Angelou's powerful words and her unwavering commitment to justice and equality.
I feel like we have the spirit of Dr. Maya Angelou in Lava because they both are very committed to equality, to women's rights, and to ensuring that all voices are heard and people have the opportunity to articulate and express themselves in all their many forms.
Portrait of a Phenomenal Woman, the Maya Angelou monument. It's the beginning, and she's the first woman of color that is actually being honored in that way with a monument in our city. It's an important moment for that, and we're really excited. And we want to continue this.
The ideals that Dr. Angelou based her life on are as much a part of the monument as bronze and stone. She's eternally optimistic and hopeful. And I think that that is a message that we can all benefit from. I think that the monument will serve as an example for other cities to erect monuments to extraordinary women, because currently the majority of monuments in this country celebrate conquest, war, and white men, and that really needs to change. I rise up from a past that's rooted in pain. I rise, I'm a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.